So the Atomic Underground is a series of reaction videos on this channel that are all about up-and-coming bands that really deserve attention and support, and Advents fits that category perfectly. This is going to be my fourth time reacting to them, this time to the song and video for White Flag. Genuine first-time reaction as always, but I have high expectations because so far these guys are really killing it. I really mean that. I have really enjoyed what I've heard so far, and I'm excited for more. But first, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell, give this video a like, and check out Patreon for perks and bonus content, and a special tier that lets you make a song request and get a reaction to it right away. Alright, Advents, White Flag, official music video. Without further ado, let's check it out in 3, 2, 1, go. Right into it with those hooky riffs, okay?
Too much confusion inside your head. You're fighting wars that have already ended. Your hesitation has ran with you every step. When no one else was, then you're what's left. Where are you down every day?
They wasted no time in bringing the heaviness this time. Like, this band just kicked in the door and jumped on the stage, and that's it. They just dove right into it. No time wasted, no intro, no melodic beginning, just straight in with the riffs, with the screams, the harshes, of course, so far I'm really liking. That's always been the case for this band. They're already killing it. They are. I'm already feeling that great energy. Also, cool red aesthetic to the video. There's also a little bit of an electronic touch to this song, which I think I've detected on a couple of their other songs that I've reacted to. Very subtle, but it's a nice addition. Those are my thoughts so far, but my thoughts are racing. So much I want to say, but for now, let's get back into it. Oh, I like the build up here. All right, let's go. And we're back in with the heaviness.
Too many signs of the hell that you've been through, where no one can know how to raise you.
Oh, that's nasty.
Looks backward tread, it never ends. And you're what's left.
Okay, those snarls are monstrous as hell. I'm digging it for sure. I also gotta say, the drumming, what it's doing in the song, is just really cool. And I'm not gonna try and, use terminology and nomenclature that I probably don't have as a non-musician. I just want to comment that I really like what the drumming is doing. And I'll just leave it at that. But it just sounds really cool. I think that every instrument is being used absolutely fantastically so far. The harshes are great. I really like when he takes his voice into that kind of deep snarl kind of territory like he's doing right here. It gives an extra punch to a song that already punched itself right out of the gate at the very beginning. One hell of a track so far. And you know what? There's a particular song by them that I've reacted to. It was the song Relentless. And I've reacted to 3 songs, Relentless, Stigma, and Negative Space. And I've loved Stigma and Negative Space, both excellent songs, but Relentless is still my favorite track. But this one might dethrone it. This one might take that spot. It really might. And I haven't heard a lot of usage of cleans. That little clean singing part was very short, and then it just dove right back into the heaviness. But that part was really cool as well. So we'll see where they go here from this point forward. But so far, this one's a contender for that #1 spot for me in terms of my favorite Advent song. Let's jump back in. That's such a throaty snarl. Yeah, I like this. I like these cleans. My excitement's amping up. There's going to be a drop. Come on, bring it.
Too many signs of the hell that you've been through. Nobody knows how to reach you.
I'm loving this.
Life like a scene you've already withdrew. But you know that it's not true.
Yes. Breakdowns for days. I'm loving it.
So show me your teeth, show me your fearless heart. You wanna believe in heroes.
Okay, that's interesting. I just want to quickly point this out. They have a red flag in the music video, and the song is called White Flag. That's got to play into the lyrics. I'll break it down after, but I just wanted to point that out. This is... I feel like this is right there for me with Relentless. Like, I'm not sure that it beats it out quite yet, but it's really damn close. Like, they're neck and neck for me. I really love this one. These guys are really onto something awesome. I really enjoy their sound so much. Let's finish it up.
'Cause you're broken, but you were chosen.
Drum riffs. Fucking cool. Ooh, that was nice. These guys, they never let up. Seriously. Again, I'm going to reiterate, I've enjoyed every one of their songs I've reacted to, and you can go back and check out those reactions if you missed them. I highly recommend it. But this is the fourth song that I've heard by these guys ever. And everything has been solid. Like, nothing has let me down. Nothing has disappointed. Yes, it's true that Relentless pretty much stayed my top song, even after I heard Stigma, after I heard Negative Space. But now after hearing this one, like, I'm thinking about it. And I really feel like this one... I feel like I like this one even better at this point. Like, at the very least, like I said, it's neck and neck with Relentless. But let me just say something about the cleans, too, because I didn't really talk about that too much. And when I did that initial pause, the cleans up to that point were being used, I would say, very moderately. But then toward the end, as the song went on, the cleans were utilized more and more, and they really, really won me over. I had already liked them, but they really won me over by the time the song was finished. Like, I like how those were developed. And I have to say, where his clean vocals are concerned, when it comes to the harshes, it really packs a punch. It's really bestial, really throaty and growly and snarly. All of the above. And a nice counterpoint to that is in the cleans, because when he does his clean singing, I feel like there's a lot of emotional vulnerability there. Just with the inflection in his voice and the way he carries it, the particular melodies that he chooses to use with his singing, I think it's a nice contrast to the harshes. And of course, cleans are always a contrast. You know, that's largely the point of them. But with this band in particular, with his particular style, I feel like it does feel raw and vulnerable, particularly on this song. And because of that, it pours emotion into the song in addition to the heaviness that's already there. So it feels like it makes the song really well-rounded and full-bodied. I just have to say that. And the vocals are something I would always attune myself to first. And that's starting to change as I'm doing more reactions. Like, I've really developed an ear for the drumming. I've really developed an ear for the guitar work, obviously. But the vocals always tend to be the first thing that I think about. And that really hit me as the song was going on. So I just want to really commend the band for that, because it's a pretty damn cool balance that was struck there, in my opinion. So there's that. The subtle little electronic element, I think, that was more so prominent in the beginning of the song, like the first half. And it was subtle, but it worked. It didn't mess with the song in any way. So I thought that was a cool little addition. Sometimes those little things can make a big difference. The drumming, I liked everything that was happening here. The guitar work was really awesome. The breakdowns were great. And just the build up and the kind of steady incline it took me on up to that point where the drop came in, it was totally worth it. There was a nasty drop, nasty breakdown, and it really did a good job of building up my excitement and my enjoyment and really rewarding it minutes later, or seconds later, I should say. So it was a really well put together song, and it really tugged at my emotions in a really awesome way. And it was a cool experience listening to this. That's pretty much how I feel about the musical side of this. Super well done, and at the very least, I think it's a tie with Relentless for how much I like this song. I'm glad I checked this one out. I'm a little bit late on this one, I regret to say, but better late than never, because this it's going on my playlist. I will add that. I'm putting it on my Groovy Radioactive playlist, which will be linked in the description below if you want to check it out. It's pretty new, so there aren't that many tracks on it yet, but this is going on it. And that should say something, because this was really awesome. So that's the music. Let's get to the lyrics and see what the song is talking about. Too much confusion inside your head. You're fighting wars that I've already ended. Your hesitation has been with you every step when no one else was. And you're what's left, contempt. Wearing you down every day, contempt. The feeling never goes away, contempt. You don't trust anyone but your contempt. Show me your teeth. Show me your fearless heart. You want to believe in heroes because you're broken, but you were chosen. To see the world through the bullet holes. So show me your teeth. Show me your fearless heart. Too many signs of the hell that you've been through. When no one can know how to reach you, the mirror looks back with the dread. It's a threat. It never ends, and you're what's left, contempt. Wearing you down every day, contempt. The feeling never goes away, contempt. And yet behind that fear and anger, there's still love. Nobody knows how to reach you. The white flag is saying you've already withdrew, but you know that it's not true. Yeah, this is a very cool sentiment, and it's very timely for me, I would say. You know, one of the things that I tend to do during these lyrical reviews is really see how the songs relate to me. Because one of the greatest things about music is our ability to connect with and relate to it. And that helps us ultimately embrace it in a deep and more meaningful way. And so to me, this is about fighting to achieve your dream and your passion, even in the midst of the most negative beliefs and circumstances. Like, going back to the song title, the white flag is calling out to you. It's that easy option that's presenting itself. Just give up, just give in, throw in the towel. And here's the thing, that can feel deceptively right sometimes. Because when you give up, things often get more comfortable. Because it's easier when you're not struggling, when you're not working hard, when you're not fighting, when you're not working towards something that you're passionate about. It's easy to just sit back and not care anymore. To not have a stake in anything and just take the easy route of doing nothing. Of course, that eventually leads to, in my opinion, depression and apathy and loss of identity because you have no direction in life. You have nothing that drives you anymore. But for a while, it can feel like a good escape hatch, right? It can feel comfortable. It can feel like the easy way out. And that's very appealing for some people. And that's not a dig at anyone either, because, look, life is hard. Fighting for things is hard. And sometimes you can feel like you're at your breaking point and you just need a way out. So I think everyone has those moments where we give in for a short while and just let what's easy wash over us and let the tide carry us instead of, having that self-determination and deciding our own direction and working toward what we want. So I think it happens to all of us. But the harder choice is to take on the pain and the burden that comes along with doing something truly great. So when it talks about seeing the world through the bullet holes, I think that means seeing the greatness that can be achieved, even when everything seems dark and full of pain, and, as the lyrics say, you just feel broken and worn down. And, this, I'll say that this one touches me when it talks about that, but I'm sure it touches everyone, because everyone's been through their own battle, their own struggle. Everyone's had their own dark moments in life. And, look, the world can do that to you. Society can do that to you. But sometimes, most of all, little failures can do that to you. One missed step in what you set out to achieve, or that goal you have suddenly seeming impossible in a very dark moment in your life. It's these things that can sometimes inflict the deepest wounds. They can pile up, and little things can fester and turn into bigger and nastier things. It's these things that can really sometimes, to put it simply, really inflict the deepest wounds. And so I feel that this is definitely about not only the struggle that this band probably went through to get to where they are now as artists, but also that refusal to wave the white flag and the reward in doing what they love, no matter how hard it gets. And going back to how I relate to that, I was just talking about this the other day, that sometimes the burden of people's expectations, or even my own expectations, can become really self-defeating. And I think for a while I lost my direction, and I lost my drive to do something that I was really passionate about. And I'm not talking about this channel, which of course I definitely am passionate about. I'm talking about one of my other passions, which is writing. And I've recently gotten back to that, and it very much does feel rewarding that I refuse to quit, or that I refuse to keep procrastinating at it. But, so I imagine this song is ultimately about embracing the reward of fighting hard and having something to show for it. And if the music I've heard by these guys is any indication, then they definitely have plenty to show for it. And I say this often, but not being a musician myself, I don't know the full stories of what bands and even individual artists really have to go through to get signed, or to make these songs and videos, to play shows, to find other interested people, other interested band members, to get their name out there and have people appreciate what they do. But I know that even being on the outside looking in, I can see that it's far from easy. Anyone can see that. And going back to something I was saying before when I did one of my pauses, it's interesting that they wave a red flag in the video. Now, traditionally, a red flag is like an alarm, right? It's like a warning sign. When someone raises red flags, it means you have to watch out for them. And I think it's communicating that, but in a positive way. Like, don't screw with us. Be alarmed, because we've brought this incredible fire with us. We're here to shake things up. We're not pushovers. We're people who raise those alarms, who fight for what we believe in. So trading a white flag for a red one, I think that's a really cool message. And there's another thing that I want to point out, and maybe this is just me overanalyzing, as I sometimes do. But reading the first few verses, there's something else here that I can relate to, if I'm right about it, which is that every artist is his own worst enemy. Like, think about it. Whether you're a writer or a visual artist or a musician, whatever, you tend to be your own worst critic. You beat yourself up the most. You hold yourself to the most impossible standards. Everyone, I think, does this. You pick at things and you overthink things. That last part especially, I think, is built into my personality. So when it says, too much confusion inside your head, you're fighting wars that I've already ended, your hesitation has been with you every step when no one else was, I think that's speaking to how you can sometimes create problems in your mind that really don't even exist. Or at the very least, aren't as bad as you're making them out to be. Things often seem so much worse in your head. Have you ever realized that? Like, you just overthink things, and the problem in your mind gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it overwhelms you so much that you can't get out of your own way. We really can be our own worst enemy sometimes. Like, we stand in our own way. We create our own roadblocks. It's just what we crazy humans do, You can fight yourself sometimes on something that you've already won, or hold yourself accountable for something that you shouldn't. And I think it's that fighting with yourself that can be a hurdle of its very own. It's that internal struggle that you have to overcome. It's like sort of like two sides of yourself are at war sometimes, and you need to bring them together so you can see things as they really are. Because sometimes as an artist, you can see things as one of two extremes, right? Like, you can either have too much of an idealized and impossible vision, and then when you don't meet those expectations, you feel defeated. Or you can be self-critical to the point where you have no confidence and no faith in what you're doing. And so that healthy middle ground of seeing things for what they really are, I think that's the best way forward. That's the best healthy balance that you can strike. And I think when it says, your hesitation has been with you every step, even when no one else was, I like that line because it says multiple things. It talks about you sometimes getting in your own way, But it also drives home the point that even if your mind can get chaotic as hell, and you can be combative with yourself, at least you had yourself to rely on when no one else was there. And at your lowest point and in your darkest moments, there's motivation and there's inspiration in the fact that you always will still have yourself. That voice in your head urging you to keep pushing forward and do what you're meant to do. And if there's any really positive ultimate takeaway from the song, I think it's that. So I like the way this message was expressed. The lyrics are pretty well written. And more than that, I really dig the music here. Again, it's right up there with Relentless for me. Really glad I checked this out. Much respect to the guys in Advents. You guys, once again, are killing it. Full support. Of course, if you like what you heard and you want to show your support to these guys, I'm going to leave some relevant links in the description beneath this video. Go check them out. Go pick up their music, pick up some merch, watch their videos, listen to their songs, tell them Blake X sent you. And in terms of rating, I'm going to give this, you know what? I'm going to give this a 12 out of 12. I really think it deserves that. Seriously. I like this one a lot. It's an instant replay for me because I'm going to be listening to this one again very soon tonight. And of course, once again, it's on my playlist. Really, really cool. Great music, good message. That's all I've got for you in this video. Once again, if you made it this far, I really appreciate that. Don't forget to hit subscribe on our way out the door. Hit that bell. Give this video a like. Check out my Patreon. More content on the way. Much love and respect to the Nuclear family, and I will catch you all on the next one.